Hello. So I was at my local Free Geek, and I saw a an N64 for sale, and it wasn't marked. And so I asked them how much it was, and they said it was $30. So I couldn't help myself; I had to pick it up. I did. I tested it out, and it works. But I wanted to crack it open. Well, first off, it works, but the joystick is really floppy. And so I wanted to crack this open and probably clean it up. It looks a little grimy to me, and so I want to take this apart and clean it up. But that will probably be another video. Today I wanted to focus on this, which again is looking pretty grimy. The buttons are all dirty. There's like lots of dead skin and sticky stuff there, and the joystick is all floppy as these do get. Anyway, so I went online and I went through Amazon and I picked up. Well, first I apologize for my cold, but I wanted to make another video because I haven't made one in a long time, and so I picked up some of these new silicone buttons, and I don't know, pretty in blue, and as well as I guess a new joystick. And so like this is the one that's modeled more after like the GameCube, and I just went with the one that had the highest what do you call it, reviews. And I read some of the reviews, and some of the complaints that there are is that there's apparently a sizable dead zone, but also that it's too sensitive. So I think that if you're anything except a casual player, this might not be acceptable. But I mean, I'm just going to be playing games that I think are fun and playing them for fun. I played Super Mario 64 with my daughter, and that was a lot of fun. And so I don't need something that is perfect. I just need something that is better than what I have. And I mean, it's a 4-star review, and I think there's over 1,000 reviews on it currently, and that's a pretty good ratio in my opinion. A lot of the others that are available will have 4 stars, but there's 100 reviews or 20 reviews, and it's just I felt safer going with this one rather than one that is maybe a little bit more traditional. So anyway, I'm just going to get started. I'm going to crack this open. I was kind of surprised. I was checking this out. You don't need like the tri-wing to get this open. Oh, I didn't even grab any tools. You don't need the tri-wing. They did just regular Phillips head screws. And there's 1, 2, 3, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I don't think there's 2 in here, but I don't think that I'm going to need to take those out right now. So I guess this is the time where I will fast forward. Okay. So turns out you do need to take these 2 screws out in order to get this off. Which is just fine. Now, I don't have like a whole replacement set for these, so it's not like the Game Boy Advance where you can get like a rebuild kit. Maybe you can, I just don't know where to get them. But gosh, look at this. Will it focus? Oh, look how nasty that is. I have to reuse it too. That's what bums me out. So anyway, just like a comparison, at least on the back side, there's that. So, I didn't refocus. All right, so I mean, comparing it to the back side, it looks generally the same. We have this. This ribbon leading to the Z trigger, so that's good to know where that goes. Oh, whoa, what's this? little piece of plastic flew off. I'm sure it's fine. It's probably not important. Okay, so I got this all out. Now what I find interesting is that the shoulder buttons on the PCB for like the Game Boy Advance, they are actually switches that are soldered into place, whereas these are PCB boards with like this type of contact. So that's interesting. I'm like, I mean, I don't know why they would do that. I guess I don't know. Well, presumably it's cheaper. That's why they would do it. I did not pay attention to how those went on, but it's most stuff that it's like most of the things that Nintendo makes. It's going to be directional, and I won't be able to screw it up. So they're just these little tangs or right there that keep you from screwing it up. Let's see if I can pull this out without. There we go. So there we go. All right. So apparently, it's a pretty common thing with these where they get worn out, especially like right down there. And I mean, Nintendo just has terrible luck when it comes to joysticks. You know, with the one, what's it called? The one now, the Switch. There's the Joy-Con Drift, and with this, there was this from. I don't know if. I mean, I was never a huge GameCube person. I had a Xbox One, so I sort of skipped that generation. But you can see that this. Whoa, that just is like, it just grinds away at that plastic. They just used I don't know, not the right type of plastic or something. This is pretty cool though. So they just use this. Oh, that's very interesting. Holy smokes. Anyway, I should put these aside just for fun. Maybe I can fiddle around with those. I have seen some people who have put time and effort into replacing them or repairing them, I should say. I am replacing them. Other people have repaired them. And as always, I don't have to worry about screwing this up because, I mean, even these C buttons, which are the exact, I mean, it's the same image, right? So like you could in theory just make one button and then just rotate the tangs 90 degrees every time, but they didn't. They made each one of these individual buttons. That's strange. I don't know why they would do that. Like, I mean, they do these tangs so that dummies like me don't screw up the reassembly, I guess. But why they wouldn't just like cut that corner? Oh, gosh! Like, look, this type of stuff makes me wish I wore gloves sometimes. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do now is before I reassemble it, I'm gonna give these a good soak, and like even the hardware too, give that a nice soak. All the buttons, get them all cleaned up. Use my old toothbrush, and then I'll get reassembling. So I will see you shortly. All right, so I got it all cleaned up. The gunk is gone for the most part. There's some like discoloring and stuff that I'm not really at all concerned about. So first things first, getting these buttons in. You know, I use most of the time, like 90% of the time, what I use to clean pieces and parts is just soap, like Dawn dish soap, and water. I found, like, I mean, that's just, most of the time you can just use water, actually. It's, you know, it'll do most of the work for you, because a lot of this stuff, the dirt isn't that great that you need anything like really heavier than water. I wanted this to go a little bit quicker, so I did Dawn dish soap and water, or like, you know, off-brand dish soap and water is what I actually use. Oops, oop, wrong one. There we go. Oh jeez, how do I get this in? There we go. And we have the blue one. One thing that I found interesting is just seeing the wear on it. So like it's very heavy wear on that side. Well, it's harder to tell now than before, but like you kind of see there's lighter wear and heavier wear. I don't know. That maybe it's not that interesting. Anyway, so I have those in place. I can start putting on this stuff, which I don't think this has to be a certain direction. I think it'll be whatever it is will be fine. Now, when I saw this online, I was interested in, I mean, I was expecting one of these type of silicone pads over here, but what they did instead is they created this one. And so that covers all 6 of the buttons, and that's, I mean, almost definitely a better use of it, of space or of like materials than doing 2 separate ones. There we go, and then here's the left and right, and then the one for the Z button, so we're not going to worry about that one. So coming up next, now I can just drop this in. And I guess something like that up top. Alright, so that is in place. These have nice little tabs. Oops. These have kind of like nice little tabs they can nest into. And they're loose in there because they also have to go, these have to go in there with them. So, there's these nice little feet. I mean, like, this is like pretty thoughtful design. I mean, like, so the feet go into there, and then the whole thing, this is like the worst angle for it, but there's a little, alright, so let's see if I can get a better angle on this one. So, these little feet, they only match up one way. So you take it out, you'll match them up. And then the silicone pad along with that PCB makes them fit nice and snug right there. I am curious why they decided to go the different route than with the Game Boy Advance, and I have one actually handy, and so you can see, I mean, the Game Boy Advance, it has a switch right there that's just soldered into place. Maybe, I don't know, it just seems like, I guess, which one came out first? I shouldn't criticize them or like question it. I mean, I don't even know. Maybe this came out first and they learned from that. That'd be interesting. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find that out. Anyway, so now right and left, the controller's upside down, so it's going to be, it's inversed for me. Alright, those will probably fall out now that I think about it. Then I am going to I'm going to slide this in first. Wait, yeah, it'll go this way up. Wait a sec. This has the exact same thing, where it's going to fit in nicer because of this silicone pad. Almost dropped that on the floor because I'm not careful. Do I have to? Oh, I think I might have to snap that into place. Yeah, okay. Yep, won't slide in. You gotta snap it in. There's a cutout right there, so it won't slide out. So you have to push it in vertically. I can put this guy in place. Now this one, it's like aftermarket, and the design is different, but it doesn't require any changes. Like, it just fits in the exact same way. I sort of wish that there were screws holding this PCB down, because when I set that down, the PC gets pushed up. Oh, before I can, yeah, of course I would forget that. Let's get this thing in place. Alright, I'll just lay like that, just as the old one did. And now, geez, see a drop of water. And now, we can put this back together. Alright, so here it is, all reassembled. Buttons are feeling good, like having that brand new silicone pad feels really good. These two, though, the shoulder buttons feel like slightly different, but this new joystick feels great. I'm going to test it out, see how it feels, and I don't know, maybe I'll do a little bit of a review on it. And but yeah, like having the new silicone pads makes a difference, even if it's slight, but like just feeling like a stronger pushback on it, it's satisfying, and it yeah, reduces that kind of spongy feeling. And of course, I mean, having a joystick that actually returns to center is going to be much, much better to have. So with that, thanks for watching. I think I'll do the next video will be me taking apart the N64, and one of the reasons for picking this up is I got perfect dark, so I'm going to be cleaning out that N64 and then putting in the expansion pack memory. So yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to subscribe, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, do whatever you want.